Jesus, when he was on earth, he did a lot of amazing things. I mean, he healed a lot of people. He performed a lot of miracles. He did some incredible things. Came back from the dead, which topped the whole list, right? It was Jesus. One of the things that amazes me is Jesus could take almost any topic that somebody threw on the table, and Jesus could turn the topic into an analogy that everybody understood. He could take something of the culture, spin the topic into an analogy, paint this picture, and everybody understood it. That's why I talked a lot about farming, agriculture, because we lived in a land of agriculture, right? People understood planting, sowing, reaping, they got it. That's why he used shepherds and sheep. Now, everywhere you look, look, there's a shepherd. Oh, look, and there's all the sheep. I mean, he's talked about these very common things that were just part of the day. To paint these analogies and these pictures to address the real issues that people were kind of grappling with and trying to sort out. I want to look at just one of them today. If you want to open up your Bible to the book of Luke, chapter 12, or if you're going to look on a phone or whatever, you can go to uversion.com or BibleGateway.com, and you can go to the same place, Luke chapter 12. Luke's in the New Testament of the Bible, Matthew, Mark, and then Luke. Luke chapter 12. And here's kind of the setting while you're turning or while you're typing it in or dialing in, whatever it is you're doing. Luke chapter 12, here's kind of the setting. There's Jesus and there's two groups of people. And the two groups of people, one is the Pharisees, these religious leaders of the day. And the religious leaders of the day, their main thing is, hey, we are protecting the good name of God. And if you want to approach God, if you want to be right with God, you've got to do it just this way. There's A, and then there's B, and then there's C. Don't you dare put E in front of B, because then it doesn't work. I mean, there's a way, and there's a system, there's a right way to get this thing done. And so these Pharisees, they think they're doing good, but they're actually kind of squashing the second group. They're making the second group feel like they don't matter, like they can't get it right, like they're less than, they're not good enough, they're not valuable, they're never going to quite be good enough to be inside the religious circle, to be inside of authentic, relationship, fully connected to God. So you got these Pharisees who think they've cornered the market, and you got all these other people who want to engage with God, and the Pharisees are saying, no, that's not right. That's not good enough. That doesn't count. That doesn't cut it. You missed it right there. Oh, man. You had 5 out of 6 words right, 6 word wrong. Nope, no good. Do it again. I mean, that's what the Pharisees, they're kind of leaning into this thing. And these two groups of people, they're together, and Jesus begins to talk to them. And he's kind of really, trying to prop up the group that's getting marginalized a little bit. He's trying to speak some truth to this group that's pushing them down a little bit. And we're literally just going to look at 3 phrases. It's inside of 2 verses. Luke chapter 12, starting in verse 6. This is the question Jesus asked. He says, are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? And for most of us, we're like, I don't know. I haven't been to PetSmart lately. I don't know how many it costs to get a sparrow, right? Who knows? Well, for Jesus in the day, right, this was kind of a religious routine. People would walk up and they'd need to get a couple of sparrows for a sacrifice. So they'd pay a penny and they'd get 2 sparrows. It doesn't say a lot because a penny for them was kind of like a penny for us. It didn't really mean anything. If you pass a penny on the road, you may or may not pick it up, right? You might. If you pass a 20 on the road, you're going to pick it up, right? That's kind of what you do. If you've picked up trash after one of the football games, the odds are good that you got a chance to find money. Every week, somebody finds money picking up trash, it feels like. Friday night was my night. I found money. Didn't tell Erica until the first hour. Already spent the money, by the way, I told her, so yeah. But I picked it up. It wasn't a penny. I didn't leave it on the ground, right? If you see a penny, you might leave it on the ground. A penny just didn't mean that much. It doesn't mean a ton to us, and it doesn't mean a ton to them. Jesus saying, hey, you're spending a penny. You're spending everyday currency to get these 2 doves. And because this is what you do every day, people, that if you throw 2 pennies on the table, you should get 4 sparrows, but you really get 5. Like, you're getting a free one. It's like free chicken wing day. Like, you're getting a bonus, right? Jesus says, hey, the 5th sparrow, you know what I know about the 5th sparrow. He says, the 5th sparrow doesn't really mean anything. You don't need the 5th sparrow. The 5th sparrow is the one the guy, the seller, doesn't want to keep, so he's just unloading it. He knows you don't really need it either, so now you got the sparrow you don't know what to do with. It's a sparrow that has no value. It's a sparrow that really doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, and this working out of religious sacrifice and this working out of real life, this sparrow, it's a pointless sparrow. It's like their version of the 3rd wheel. You just don't need it. It doesn't matter. You wish it would go home. You like it when it was just 2 wheels. There's this 5th sparrow. And Jesus is like, hey, look, every day, You need 4 sparrows. You get a fifth. That fifth has no value to you. The fifth doesn't matter. And everybody listening, Pharisees and other people alike, they're like, oh, yeah, right, okay, right. I've had a 5th sparrow. I had a 5th sparrow earlier today. I really didn't know what to do with it. Threw it away. I said no because it didn't have any value to me. And so then Jesus says, now that he's got everybody's kind of wheels just beginning to turn, now that he's got everybody kind of grabbing hold of this thing of, oh, yeah, they don't have any value. He says, not one of them. Not one of those 5th sparrows, not one of those meaningless, purposeless, valueless sparrows, not one of them gets forgotten by God. There's not a single one of those 5th sparrows, those third wheels, those extras, those less thans that goes outside the notice of God. People who are a little pressed down, people who are wrestling with the question, do I matter? It's starting to click in a little bit. It's starting to register. Oh, wait. If that matters to God, then maybe, and Jesus, he probably sees the wheels turning, he feels the momentum starting to happen, so he keeps going. He says, indeed. The very hairs of your head are all numbered. Now, I understand that there are a plethora of bald jokes we could tell right now, right? We'll just let them pass. Jesus is essentially saying, I know all the numbers of the hairs on your head, which also means I know its original color. Like I know what's under there all the way, right? I see that. I know you that well. Nobody else is numbered there. I haven't counted the numbers on my hair. I deeply love my girls. I deeply love Erica. I've never taken the time to count all the hairs on there. It's not going to happen, right? Jesus says, I know you that well. I just know you that well. I actually love you that much. I actually love you that much. Indeed, the very hairs of your head, they're all numbered. And I love this. Look, you got to let this work out in your soul a little bit. Look. So he says, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of being a 5th sparrow. Don't be afraid of having no value. Don't be afraid of getting pushed to the side. Don't be afraid of being a less than. Don't be afraid of being marginalized. Don't be afraid of not counting. Don't be afraid of being insignificant. Because you're worth more than not a 5th sparrow. You're worth more than many sparrows. Jesus is talking to a group of people and saying to them, hey, look. For those of you that the story of your life has been or that the story of your life is right now, one of wrestling with, do I matter? Am I worth it? Am I significant? Do I count? Jesus, in the story of your life, just stop the press for a minute. And let's insert a new chapter into your story. And the entire chapter is 2 words. You matter. You matter. While some people may count you worth less than the penny they leave on the ground, Jesus said, I'm going to look at you and say, you matter. You're valuable. You have significance. And it's based on nothing that you've done. It's based on the fact that I'm Jesus. And I say you matter to me.